Well, good morning, everybody. This is forecaster Mark Spencer from Neoweather.com, bringing you a special weather update regarding the remnants, if you will, of what's left of Hurricane Sandy. We got quite a bit going on this morning. I'm starting with the regional radar view from the Neoweather 3D Max Doppler radar. Across northeastern Ohio, we're seeing rain, temperatures lower to middle 40s. Plenty of wind out there, too. Some of that rain can be moderate to heavy at times. Now, this is just coming in to the area. It's been coming in the area since last night, but not really brunt of it's coming in. So we're going to see these waves of strong rain followed by a lull in activity and then more later on. Now I know we're looking at here is some snow. Yeah, that's some of this is snow down here in western and even down into southern Ohio this morning. Pretty big swath of it too. Now this is a computer generated image, so not all of this is actually falling as snow. Some of this is falling as rain at the surface because it's just warm enough to where that snow melts on as it gets to the low levels. Mansfield is reporting light snow this morning. Light snow also in Findlay. Light rain up in Toledo Metcalf, but Toledo Express is reporting ice pellets. Temperature of 34 degrees. Light snow at Toledo Suburban Airport. Let's see, Lima's reporting light snow. And let's see if we can find a couple more here. I know down in Columbus this morning was reporting light snow, and they still are reporting light snow down that way. As you get further south, light snow down in the Athens, Albany area, and light rain at Parkersburg currently. We have all rain up here this morning as all of this continues to push to the west. We're going to take a look at a track, actually at a computer model track here in a couple of minutes. We're going to see how far west that center of low pressure will get to us. It's actually going to get pretty close. Winds this morning, we'll show a graphic with some gusts overnight. Cleveland Hopkins winds are pretty much gusting up to about the mid-40, about 45 miles per hour this morning. Lakefront a little bit stronger because it's coming in right off the lake. Actually, they're not reporting right now. They may not be actually be there at the moment. Down at Akron and Canton, it's a little bit less. We're up to about 35, 40 miles an hour there on the gusts. We'll take a look at, again, some gusts here in a few minutes. I put together a graphic for that. Taking a little bit further view out, again, still rain along the East Coast. They have gotten battered out there. Snow in the West Virginia. Some of those places will be measuring in feet. And this is a pretty extensive system. It all gets all the way up into, well, good part of northern lower Michigan. Ignore that temperature there. That's not right. That's an erroneous thing there. And it's just a big system. It's going to be with us here for probably about another day, day and a half. It's going to kind of stall out over western Pennsylvania and then move off to the north sometime later on Wednesday. We're going to take a look at some power outages and get to some closures here right now. So we'll switch over to looking at some power outages. All right, take a look at the power outages across the area this morning. This is from First Energy Corp across the Cleveland Metro and Akron Metro areas, which is where they cover much of the power around here. You can see the darker colors as you get to the oranges, the yellows, and the reds. That's a lot more people without power. Over red is over 15,000 customers. This morning, Cleveland, you're looking at around 12,000. I'm sorry. We're looking at around 34,900 people, almost 35,000 people without power this morning. Akron, see if we can get it to come up here. We're looking at about almost 1,700 in Akron, not too bad there. Mentor has about 7,700 out. Eastlake, almost 5,500. And let's see if we can get a couple others up here. About 1,700 in Wycliffe there. And I can't get these other ones to come up. Willoughby has about 2,800 without power. 6,500 there in Euclid. You get out to the west side of town. Westlake's about 6,800. Avon Lake about 6,400. And O'Leary's right about 5,400. Lorraine about 33,100 actually. Some of these other places where you see the blues are less than 50, and the greens are generally under 500 customers without power. So plenty of places without power this morning. We'll also want to go take a look here. Total-wise, we're over 220,000 people without power this morning across northeastern Ohio. Road closures this morning. I-90 is closed in both directions from Dead Man's Curve to East 55th Street. That's due to the water from the lake splashing onto the roadway. Very dangerous situation there, so it is closed until further advised. East 9th Street on-ramp to I-77 South is closed due to high water, and also State Route 608 in Lake County at Winchell Road is closed due to down power lines. I did hear on the radio this morning a couple other minor closures. There's a portion of 303 closed due to high water as well. It's in a low-lying area. I believe it's in Portage County. And there's a couple other closures out there as well. I-71 South in Medina County was closed, southbound traffic due to an overturned tractor trailer. I believe that is still in effect as well. So if you will be heading out, please check the traffic before you head out, especially when you're driving the highways or any other some of the other roads in the area. Make sure that they are open, and if they are not, that way you can plan an alternative route. Remember, if you see a flooded roadway, turn around, don't drown, seek an alternate route. If you see down power lines, don't drive across them, turn around from those two. You don't know if they're live or not. So do be careful while you're driving. Watch for debris as well being blown around, some tree branches. Haven't seen any major reports of trees down, but there are likely a few trees down as well. So do be careful for all that if you're going to be driving. Next, we're going to take a look at a couple of model runs here real quick, and we're going to take a look at what we can expect through tomorrow with this system. Alright, I want to take a look at one of our high-resolution models we have here, and we're going to take a look and see what we could expect here over the next about 24 to 36 hours from now. And I tell you what, it's not going to be very good over the next day or so. So here's about 8 o'clock this morning on our model. It's fairly accurate, I'd say, with the rainfall and everything. You can see out here this pressure center. That's basically the center of that low. And we're going to watch it move our way as we put this into motion a little bit. So you can see the rain keeps coming. Again, we'll have some breaks in this from time to time. It still has some tropical characteristics, even though it's not a full-fledged tropical only storm. It still has some tropical characteristics to it. So we will see a few breaks, a few lulls in the activity from time to time, but overall it's still going to continue through much of today. Here we are right about noon, and again, we also see this pressure area. It kind of widens out. It broadens up a little bit. Instead of being a tight little circle as it was earlier and having a close pressure gradient, it instead broadens out some, and that means it's generally weakening a little bit, but it's still a very low pressure that we're showing too. So even though it broadens out some, it's still fairly strong as it continues. We'll see it kind of increase and decrease a little bit here. Interesting note here, we do have another band of rain that comes in. It's actually starting to show right here about 2 o'clock. And we'll put this into motion again, and by about 4 o'clock we can see we got a nice streak coming off the lake going to the east side of Cleveland, and then also some heavier rain down south of Canton, Dover, New Philadelphia, and points south. That gets a little bit more organized here as we get towards 5 o'clock here, 6 o'clock here. This is a pretty nice band of rain that's moving off to the west by 6 o'clock. So you'll probably see some gustier winds with that as well. By then, we don't expect the winds to be quite as gusty as they are right now, but still we could see some gusts with this. This is still going to stay strong through about 8, 9 o'clock tonight. Here we are at 9 o'clock. See, it's dying down just a little bit, but we do get lake enhancement. So not only are we getting the rains off of this, we're getting lake enhancement, because remember, the lake's still fairly warm. We get these winds out of the north-northwest coming in across the lake, so we're getting enhancement. And with the rain already present, the lake's only adding to it a little bit. So your traditional snowbelt area, basically east side of town here, up into northwest PA, you're going to see some of the higher rainfall amounts there. However, don't be surprised to see a little bit on the west side of town as well, and even some of the other higher elevations outside of the traditional snowbelt, thanks to some orographic lift or just lifting for the terrain. But we do keep the rain through much of the evening. The winds will die down a little bit. Now notice here that this big ring that we pointed out earlier, this is a pressure gradient, it's closer to us. The center of the rotation's right about here, just to the northeast of Pittsburgh. And that's about where it's going to get. It's going to get a little bit closer to us as we progress this just a little bit. It gets between it gets to about Mercer, Pennsylvania, just to the east of there. Mercer's right here, where I-79 and I-80 intersect, and it gets to just about the west there, and then it'll eventually start taking off to the northeast very slowly, although you can see that area of rotation broadens pretty good here, and actually starts broadening up from east of Cleveland to Youngstown to Du Bois, and then around to Erie and Olean, New York. It's a pretty broad area of rotation there, and that's where we could see some dry periods. This is about 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning. We could actually see some drying across parts of northeastern Ohio because we're close to that center of rotation. Everything's spinning around it, not within it. So we could actually see some dry periods there Wednesday morning. But as that low begins to pull off to the north and east, we get wraparound then. So all the rain that hit us before, the moisture hit us before, it's going to come back at us from the northwest as this moves off to the northeast. So not only are we going to see more rain, we're going to get more lake enhancement too through much of Wednesday and even in the part of Thursday as the winds still continue to be pretty brisk out of the north-northwest, especially aloft as this continues to pull away. It'll still be breezy through Thursday. Again, the wind's not quite as strong. High wind warnings in effect until 1. Flood watch is in effect, I believe, until this evening. That could get extended, though. Please stay tuned to neoweather.com, and we'll have all the latest for you here. We'll be posting a couple graphics throughout the day on our fan page, so please stay tuned there as well. And have all your friends and family like us for all the latest updates from Neoweather. We'll keep you informed throughout the day. I'm forecaster Mark Spencer, and on behalf of us at Neoweather, stay safe out there and have a good afternoon.